Hi, welcome to the next edition of GrandLine Grinders, episode 37. And this week I am, of course, joined with favorite anime villain. And so, small podcast this week. Next week, hopefully, we'll get the full team. And we'll be talking about potentially more about EVO3 because it's about ready to be a set for us in a couple weeks. But today, we're going to, of course, do our always power rankings, shifts in meta, talk about deck lists competitively, and then get into some other sub things. Today, the sub thing is going to be talking about we're getting closer to the merging of the West and the East. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, as well as some new cards. What did they do to the OP 15 leaders that already been revealed? Are they good? So a little bit of that. And of course, how are you doing this week, anime villain?
It's another week. I lost my locals last week. I lost a win a box this Saturday. Malded for a little bit, contemplated quitting the game, came home, and then ran some Yellow Luffy games to get it out of my system. So I don't know. We're doing fine. Still just preparing for Nats. What about you? How's your week been, dog?
It's been pretty reasonable. I still been pounding my head about the punt I made with Dofi. Um, it's never gonna fully go away. I had the match win, and then I blundered the math, which is a thing that happens in this game.
Sure does.
So, but speaking of Dofi, the first topic, of course, is power rankings, and this deck looks like it's moving up. So now it's at fourth place and 52% win rate. Not bad. Considering the fact that the deck is pretty difficult to pilot, so I figured it would be getting higher and higher up the more people get longevity playing the deck. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, it's the fact that people are settling into like learning how it works, learning how to play it into the meta. Also, it could just be that people saw in like locals or in tournaments online or something that it did good in a larger percentage than last week, started playing it. It's a good deck though. It's pretty strong. It can definitely be annoying. They run like 12 searchers in some lists, which is really good. It's I don't know. I was playing my buddy Saturday. Yeah, that was yesterday as of the day of recording. I was playing my buddy yesterday, and he just wasn't bricking at all. They run bricks. He didn't see any of them. It's good. It's a good deck. Even into some of the really strong matchups, it can be like some of the matchups that it's weak into. It can still play very well. It's a good deck.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited. This is actually going to be the deck I'm trying to main. Just because I love purple, of course, if you followed this podcast for a long time. And on top of that, it does have a little bit, I think, more of a game, like being able to control the board a little bit better than other purple decks.
Mm-hmm.
So it has like that advantage where it can add strategic thought process into the actual purple color.
Yep.
So like a lot of them are more simplistic. Like I'm just actually just ramping. I'm putting a big body down. Can you beat me with it? This deck has a lot more complicated lines, so it does kind of give you the itch. Maybe that you were, if you're wanting a little bit of different things, you change decks to get those kind of itches. So I'm
Honestly, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
yeah,
off there.
no, go ahead.
I would say honestly, every deck outside of maybe Mihawk. So Mihawk is probably the only deck out of 14 that does exactly what its color identity like is supposed to do. Every other deck is so uniquely like not really built around what its color usually does. Like Doflamingo is kind of controlly and you're redirecting attacks. That's not like a purple thing. You're ramping, but it's not at an insane rate just to spam out big bodies, which is what purple has always been known for. Uh I guess Boa plays a little bit of blue and yellow because it has a lot of trigger bodies and it draws cards, but like that's really reducing both of those colors down to like their most basic and least complex aspects. I think Moria is incredibly like complex and not necessarily like it's not based around KOing. It is, but it's based around like KOing your own characters and then gaining value off of that, which has never been Black's thing. And like, yeah, it has healing because it's yellow, but the deck isn't like based around healing. Like the leader effect, you can use it to heal, but it's kind of bad to use. And then Croc obviously is like nothing like Black has ever been. It's a stun deck, whereas like that's never been Black has always just been removal, like cost reduction and then removing things via cost reduction combos. But now it's like a stun deck and it's super big brain, which Black has always been very complicated, but it doesn't play anything like a regular Black deck. And Jinbei is just blue aggro, which isn't blue's thing. I think it has a unique mechanic because you can trash cards to move Dawn, but even moving Dawn isn't inherently a blue skill. That's a red skill. So it's just very interesting that most of the leaders out of the set don't really function the way that their colors have been known to function.
I mean, honestly, I would say Crocodile was very, very familiar with her Black. But then again, I play a lot of Blackbeard. There's a lot of overlap here because 10 drop Teach does technically stun.
Yes, but not in the same way. And Teaches still had multiple variations built around removal, whereas
Yes.
Croc is not a removal deck at all. You literally cannot remove by effects.
Yeah, it just feels like it was a progression, right? They wanted to see if they could save maybe a little bit of hybrid, and I guess then maybe they thought Teach was still too of annoying of a deck, so they're trying to see how to fix Black to where it's not.
I think as more sets come out and more leaders are released, it's hard to not overlap without bringing crazy concepts into the game. Like making it where things can't be stunned or where things can't attack or where they are stunned isn't a new concept. We've had that in green. It's just not a Black concept. Like it's not the color identity of Black. So I guess in the sense that yes, Croc is cost manipulation to achieve effects. It is still a Black deck, but the mechanics that you're achieving via cost reduction are unlike what Black normally does. And it creates some really cool combos that you do, like Crocodile pop or have a Crocodile on field, play a new Crocodile, pop it, then also use Hoot Couture Patchwork to freeze a rested character. Now you don't have to deal with 3 big bodies the next turn. That's awesome. It's just not the way that Black has worked up until this point.
Yeah, I would say, arguably I would agree that the patch was definitely has never really felt like a Black card. It was more of a green card.
Agreed.
So that's
completely agree.
Yeah, that's kind of where because freezing is usually a green thing. I guess can attack maybe is up for debate on what color identity that actually follows. More towards
I consider it like not being able to attack along the same lines of just keeping something rested, or like not being able to rest something. Pretty much just like board manipulation, like card manipulation on board. I have always kind of considered being a green thing, whether it's like resting a character, keeping a character from being rested, resting or unresting a Dawn. It's just very green in its concept.
Yeah, but it's weird because that I think isn't that in 2 colors right now? The can attack.
I mean,
blue does it too, doesn't it?
Multiple colors have effects that make it where you can't attack. There's a blue boa card that stuns things. There's multiple yellow cards that make it where things can't attack. Green has multiple things that either keep things from being rested or keep them from unresting, which essentially is keeping them from attacking. So it's like it's not one specific color, but when I think of something being stunned, I think of 5-cost carrot keeping something rested. That's when someone says done, it's like, oh, keeping something from being able to perform the function that it should be just comes across to me as green because of Carrot. And maybe it's just because I'm a little bit of an older player. Like, I remember when Carrot was introduced into the game. So I think that's kind of just what it is from my perspective and why I really associate it with green. But there are multiple colors. Like we said, even Patchwork keeps something like from being able to restand so it can't attack. So it's like hard to say what the true color identity is, but I've always associated it with green. Definitely not black. Not that it's a bad thing, and I like the deck. It's just so far from what we're used to.
Yeah, honestly, I would associate it more with blue. Just because ice time, I think, and stuff like that. It feels like a blue thing where you're freezing somebody, where they can't attack. It just feels blue. But I understand, like, it's just inherently not like a bad thing. Like, it's just you can't attack.
It's just the lines of color identity kind of blurring a little bit.
Yeah, it's like then when do you use the phrase "it can't be rested" versus, which is a purple thing on Dofi, or versus "it can't attack"? Like, where does all this muddiness come from? Like, what color is what there? I don't know. Honestly, that's probably how they should have done it. Something that can't be rested should have been like a black or a purple thing, and then can't attack should be a blue thing. Like,
well, currently the only color that makes it where something can't be rested is green. It's only 5-cost Perona and 9-cost Mihawk. There's one other card, but I don't remember what it is.
But it says it can't be rested?
Yes, where this card cannot become rested.
Yeah.
Which is different than this card will not become active, and it is also different from this card cannot attack. Like 4-cost yellow Perona, the Thriller Bark card from OP14, makes it where a character of 6 cost or less cannot attack. But if it's a blocker, they can still block. Whereas 9-cost Mihawk says that card cannot be rested, meaning it cannot turn sideways to attack, it cannot block, and even if it's 8-cost Kid, you cannot rest it to use its effect, like to put a Dawn underneath it to make it a wall. You even can't say you're in the like mirror match, the Mihawk mirror match, and you play down your 9-cost Mihawk, you rest it with like your leader effect, and you target your opponent's 9-cost Mihawk, they can't even rest that with their leader effect now. It is, per the rules of the game, it cannot be turned sideways. It's not like, oh, you can't manually do it. It is that it cannot be done. It is an action that cannot be taken.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yes.
So people are still speculating. They don't know what is going to happen with Red Rock. So do you think it's possible their goal is to remove Red Rock from the format and replace it?
I hope so.
And get him geared towards removal, more towards it doesn't get removed off board or go to the bottom of the deck. Instead, it just gets frozen. Because it does feel less bad as the person receiving they devoted 9 Dawn to this thing and it stays there. So I understand why.
I mean,
thematically,
the reason we have Red Rock is because blue is a weak color. The reason that blue comes up in the meta is because it's mixed into better colors, or like the color combination works out in a way that gives you insane advantage. Like even looking at the top 10 list here, Jinbei's only still on the list because it's 2-3 weeks into the new meta. Like people are still playing new decks. That it always happens. The other 2 blue decks are Ace and Up Luffy. Both are very strong. Both of them do insanely good things. Ace has crazy draw potential, but it's also like aggressive and it's a 6-life leader. And then like Blue Purple Luffy, it has card draw, which is really strong, but it has ramp. So it's like they're not blue decks on their own. They are heavily
supportive.
Yeah, heavily supported by their cracked leader effect that is tied to some color.
Yeah.
In some color identity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, even like Ace, I guess technically a lot of the best cards in Ace are blue now because of Whitebeard, 10 drop Whitebeard.
Yes. And those, like,
Marco.
most of those are just like blocker cards that draw you other cards.
Yep.
So it's like, it's just also a combination of like the leader being 6, like a 6K leader, and then also drawing a card when something's removed. So like leaders that gain value off of cards being removed are inherently just better, and they're going to be stronger.
Yeah.
For the most part, because there are leaders that like removal, they make removal difficult, and they're still not necessarily super playable right now because other leaders are maybe gatekeeping them. But not to wander too far from the question. I hope Red Rock gets rotated out, but only because I think every color should have an answer for a 10 cost, or no color should have an answer for a 10 cost outside of black, whose color identity is cost reduction. Like that's kind of the one color that gets to skate by, or like multicolor decks that include black. So like if every color had Red Rock, I would be cool with it. So I'm a proponent for getting rid of Red Rock in general. I think if it cycles out, maybe we get another card, maybe we don't. The way the meta has shifted, it's getting worse and worse. Removal is getting worse. There's a lot more cards that protect against removal, and there's a lot of effects. Like right now, we're going through, like, One Piece as a card game is only 3 years old, a little over 3 years old. We're going just through a cycle where like the next thing has to be better than this thing, but it could be weak to the thing that's coming after that, or it could be weak to the thing that we've had like 4 formats ago. Like we're going in a circle where removal is going, like, blue is going to be weak. Blue removal is going to be weak again because things aren't going to be able to be removed unless they're KO'd or moved to life. And then it's going to move back to where like only KOing is going to be like the best form of removal. It's just like a cycle with the meta. Right now, Red Rock is really good because a lot of leaders gain value off of things being KO'd. Other forms of removal, though, they work well, but we're going to move into a cycle where those other forms of removal are no longer that good. Like if we're in a meta that's dominated by Emu, Red Rock's trash.
Which is bad.
No one's... What's that?
That's actually what I was going to say, because I mean the top deck right now, according to this ranked, is Emu. So
exactly. So how good is Red Rock in this situation? No one's planting a 10 cost for a turn unless if you're planting a 10 cost for a turn, you are insanely up, and it's just like win more. Usually you don't plant the 10 cost, you play it, you use its effect, you play out the 5 bodies, you just overwhelm your opponent. So it's not super likely that you're getting Red Rocked. Like it's bad into that matchup.
So yeah, one thing I hopefully at one point we'll start getting more information on our seeing what blue is supposed to be as a color. Since the longest time, Nami has kind of held it back as what its actually identity is supposed to be. So I am kind of interested to see how it goes in the future, because I mean, Jinbei, Kuzan, there's not a lot of overlap here with blue, like Dofi, Blue Dofi, like what is blue? That's I am curious to see in the long term what that's actually going to start looking like.
I think the only 2 or 3 common factors that blue has is bouncing to hand, putting on the bottom of the deck, or drawing cards. That's blue's color identity. It's like non-conventional forms of removal or like non-conventional forms of advantage. Recently, though, blue's color identity has just been drawing a lot of cards. Even in Jinbei, which is like a blue aggro deck, almost every card replaces itself on play or on KO with Dawn attached.
Yep.
Boa represents blue being a draw color, or like 4-cost Boa rearranging the top of your deck. But it's like blue is very draw oriented, or like removal that's not based on KO.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that one thing I hope blue gets the primary function of it's unblockable. That seems to be a keyword going forward. Hopefully blue
Um
is the color that gets a lot of that, but we'll see.
Blue has like the main archetype in blue up until this point has unblockable. Boa and Jinbei both have unblockable already.
Yeah, the only other one that doesn't, red has some with like the old Luffy. Um,
Red has multiple.
yeah.
It's only blue for the 7 warlords, yellow Luffy leaders, and then like straw hats. Red straw hats. Well, red straw hats in a red deck, or a straw hat multicolored deck that includes red. So like it's not like every color has unblockable. Like yellow doesn't have a generic unblockable, black doesn't have an unblockable, green doesn't have an unblockable. Purple has one unblockable card, but it's specifically locked to Trafalgar Law, like character or leader, because it's for the law deck, or it's for the Rosinante deck.
Which one is that? Is that because that one has a blocker? This 4-drop is a blocker. The 7-drop pumps your entire team.
It's an event.
Oh yeah. You're right. It makes your Trafalgar Law unblockable.
It's like silence or something like
Yeah,
that.
I remember now. Yeah. So
It's basically just perfume femur because it gives a like a power boost as well, but it's locked to Trafalgar Law character or leader. I agree though. I do wish more colors got generic unblockable, especially as we're moving like so much heavier into blocker territory where every deck is playing a ton of blockers all the time.
yeah, that's because I actually said it previously on the show. We were talking with Flaffic about what possible new keywords they could bring into the game.
Mm-hmm.
The one that we both kind of struck on, that we both kind of liked, was the thought of having one that basically says this character must be blocked if able. Um,
Mm.
as a nice keyword, it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more simplistic than a lot of other things you could do. I was thinking for purple more, just because it makes a lot of sense in purple, because you want your little rampers to have it, so he could attack with a little ramp guy. You have to block it, then he can smack you in with the big guy.
I mean, but
But
that could be said about literally any color.
I mean, other colors have different other things, right? I mean, purple's the only one that really
So
ramps Dawn.
yeah, but
But
like
Searcher,
what's to
you could argue a
say
Searcher could do it.
any yellow, exactly, any searcher could do? Why does it have to be a card that ramps? That's like creating a crazy, oh, blue has an unblockable, sorry, blue does have a more generic unblockable. It's the Hina. It makes things at a certain level, a level of cost, not be able to block. I think it's 4 or less. But you have to like discard a card from hand.
Yep, and then you have the new Alabasta card that allows your Sanji to be
Oh yeah,
unblockable.
yeah. That makes it where Alabasta characters are unblockable. But
Yep,
all of them are very like type
yep.
specific, and the decks that are able to use them are pretty type specific, which is unfortunate. I just wish we had generic unblockable. But like even yellow could use like generic unblockable that was just like a 3-cost card, or like something that you could play early and then utilize later in the game. But I think every color could like benefit from that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. I don't know. I'm a little bit different because I think I would like to see a keyword be like 50% or higher rates at one color than others. Like Rush, like is high rate in red, which is great. I like to see every color have a keyword that they get more of it than others. That's more what I was saying. Like
I can agree with that, but we're moving so much for like we're progressing so far into the game where even color identity of what that color is supposed to do is shifting away from its original like focus.
yeah,
Like how many non-red decks have rush characters now? Multiple colors have multiple rush characters even. I think every color outside of green has multiple rush characters. Green has two, but one of them
Char
is
Rush.
but
Two of them are Char Rush.
for green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Jinbei,
yeah, for Shirahoshi.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Shirahoshi.
Yeah. That's I'm not even talking about character rush. There are two green cards that have rush. One of them is
Is Hody.
restricted to having to have 5 cards rested, 5 Dawn rested, and then the other is Hody.
Yeah,
And those are characters that have rush. They can
yeah,
attack a leader. But like every color has them. Some of them have a little bit more. Red definitely has way more rush characters, and then I think yellow probably has the second most. So like I don't disagree. We're just getting so far away from that being a possibility. That you
yeah.
like the more they put out of product, the more they have to be like, oh, what can we do next? Like this did really well. What's the new thing that could shake stuff up? Oh, we'll give red bottom decking. It's kind of how power creep happens, but it's also just the longevity of a card game. Like you play Magic, I'm sure there's blue cards that do weird other color stuff. Maybe there's not. Maybe color identity is more true in Magic.
For the most part, I would say it's kind of that way. I mean, they did have like one set where they did the planar chaos where they did flip colors, but for the most part, blue has its identity. Like that's where the counter spells are.
Hmm.
That's where mass bouncing happens, stuff like that. And like black is the color of single 1-for-1 death cards, like instant speed stuff. So like they do stick with a flavor for the color. But then again, maybe that's just me being a Magic player. I like to see it here too, but um, it also kind of surprising that we don't really have a color here that actually does. There's, I guess, yellow's the closest that has a little bit of a control aspect. I mean, because Boa and Koala both are yellow. I'm assuming that's their yellowish nature, to where they punish you for doing something that, like attacking to her board, you get punished by taking a life. And Koala's like if you play an A drop, they take a life. So like it's
Well,
kind of a
the
weird.
yellow aspect is just that they flavored it into punishing you via life.
Yeah,
That's not really like I guess it's kind of yellow's thing because yellow burns. Yellow is just kind of life manipulation. Like I would say more than triggers, yellow is life manipulation.
yeah,
And we're seeing that more and more even with like the leaks for OP15 where cards might not be healing you but they will still like take a life and then replace it to do an effect. So it's like life manipulation in some way is kind of always what I think about yellow with. So
yeah.
yeah, that it is. It's not necessarily that yellow is control. More so, I guess some yellow is control, but it's not so much more that yellow is control versus like it's yellow, so it punishes you in the form of you losing a life. It's weird. It's the line just kind of getting blurred, I guess. But it's like, oh, hey, we have this leader and it's this color combination, and we just need to figure out how to tie them together.
Well, I think it's more that they just don't print that many leaders that punish people. Seems like there's an absence of that. Like Koala, Boa's a few exceptions. But there's not
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
mean, it's
I mean,
it,
Blackbeard you could consider also a control card that stops ETB triggers, which is fine. But there a lot
I
of
mean,
them
we
just
have a
don't.
ton of control. We just Like, I wouldn't put Blackbeard in the same category as Boa and Koala. Like, just because it's a control deck isn't the same, like, style control deck.
Yeah, I mean, like you could argue Bonnie, of course, is more of a starve leader, which is fine. She's a little bit control, starve, mid range. I would say mid range is not the same as control, but or punishing.
No, I think we're blurring, like, just blurring lines of the topic, or like the point
Yeah,
that you were trying to make, bringing like Blackbeard into it,
yeah, yeah.
or like Blackbeard and they're just like, I wouldn't say Boa or Koala are control decks because they're not. They just punish you for you playing the game in a specific way. A control deck is like the way Blackbeard plays, or Bonnie controlling your board, or like Marco controlling your board through power reduction and clearing the board, or even like old versions of Enel where like tempo control.
Valid. I was saying like I was just saying I like to see more leaders that do that kind of stuff. Like even if it was like blue,
I agree.
where it was a blue leader that said whenever your opponent casts an A drop, they have to tuck a card, put to the bottom from their hand.
Yeah,
Something like
I
that.
agree.
Like, it's just that
I just sorry.
yeah. Go ahead. They just don't print
I
that many
think
of
we're
it.
just a new game. We've only been out for 3 years.
Yeah.
3.5 years. So it's like Magic has more lead, or like more commanders because it's been out for 30 years, something like that. And they print a new set every 3 months ish.
Now it's 2 months
Every
because they have like 6 sets a month, 6 sets a year, which is
2 months. That's crazy.
it's crazy.
That's crazy. But like, as time goes on, I think we will get more leaders that do things that punish the opponent for trying to eliminate your resources. I'm personally hoping that we get more Dawn manipulation. I'm a big like 5-cost Magellan fan. It would be real cool to have more stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't like I would love to see a leader that could do it. Something like that.
Me too. Also, I like hand destruction a lot. I thought we would have a purple leader that could rip cards out of hand.
I mean we have
Never happened. What's that?
A leader or a card character?
A leader. We have multiple characters
Yeah.
that do it. We have characters and events that do it. I used to play a grip of all of them. No, I want a leader that can rip things out of hand, which I think would probably be very broken. But
I mean, the question would be more of what color is that?
at this point, it would unfortunately probably be blue, but I would prefer it to be like purple.
I mean, purple would be interesting as a. It would have to be like a -5 Dawn.
No,
Or something. It would
like
have to be
-2 to rip a card out of hand when attacking, and then just don't give it an event that restands it.
so 5 life leader, 5k, -2 when attacking, -2 Dawn. They trash your card.
Rip one card. You rip the card out of your opponent's hand. They don't choose. It's random. Or like you choose, but it's like you can do it randomly if you want, but like your opponent doesn't get to trash it. You trash a card out of your opponent's hand.
Fair. I mean, that would be interesting. We don't really have that many chaotic leaders either. That would be kind of interesting. And that would be kind of a chaotic leader where, you're randomly doing something.
Yeah.
Just effective
I
work.
think it would be on the same level of chaos as like Foxy Leader that just stuns a character and a leader.
That's more. I don't know. That's another one of leaders.
Foxy is control for sure.
Yeah.
But like it's very chaotic. It makes you play the game in a completely different way, which is the same thing that a hand destruction leader would do.
You're not wrong. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, I just always had a conflict of what color should do it because.
Well, purple was the first color to have hand destruction. That's why I always wanted it to be purple. Black also had hand destruction early in the game. Blue actually wasn't a hand destruction color until Pudding.
So Pudding, and then we had Kuzan.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how many more outside of that, but
You mean Isho?
Isho, yeah, Isho.
The one that just released?
Yep.
Well, I mean, for blue, that's what we had. We also have the black 8-cost Nico Robin blocker, or 6-cost Nico Robin blocker. Isho, the old 8-cost. There's a 5-cost X Drake from like OPO2.
Yeah, that's purple, right?
OPO2, yeah, the purple one. There's a 3-cost Jack that when attacking, you minus a Dawn and it rips a card out of your opponent's hand. We've had a lot of hand rip cards.
In purple.
And in purple, yeah. I think there are a couple more that I'm not even
Law.
Thinking of off the top. Yeah, Law. That was a really big one back in the day. Even more so, like, when Isho came out, people would run Isho, and it would be like, yeah, Isho ripped cards out of hand, but mainly people wanted to run Isho because it did a blanket -3. Whereas, like, when Law came out, it was like more people ran that Law blocker than ran Isho, for sure. That card was crazy good.
Yep, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like, if they made maybe like it would have to be restricted to like if your opponent has 5 or more cards in hand, then randomly discard.
Yeah. Don't like rip the last card out of their hand by like you can do that with characters, that's fine. But like when you're going for lethal and you can just rip the last card out of your hand when attacking, so your opponent can't even counter, that'd be So like give it maybe like 4 or more cards you can rip. That way you can put them down to 3 for a better chance of lethaling later, but not where you can rip like the last 2 cards or the last card or the last 3 cards even. Some sort of restriction would have to be implemented, and maybe it's a Dawn -3, because Dawn -2 you could probably just stick a Sanji Pudding and get the 2 Dawn back or get 1 Dawn back. So maybe make it inconvenient where it's like such a big deal that you aren't just back at your same Dawn curve on the next turn. Like Foxy, not to mention a completely different style leader, but like Foxy, you have to have a combination of cards to use his effect every turn without being hindered incredibly.
Yeah, it's a lot easier now with the other 8-drop Foxy.
Now that there's that 3-cost and all the other things that ramp and the 7-cost and the 8-cost, like the 3-cost, the 7-cost, and the 8-cost all static do the same thing of ramping a Dawn. So
yeah, Foxy I think is underappreciated. I think he's better than people are thinking he is.
It's a really good deck.
Yeah. So back on this topic, curious your input. Why is Boa falling to 5th?
Less people are winning with it probably, so like they're switching off of the deck. More people are learning how to play into it. Like that's just kind of the blanket answer for everything shifting in one direction or the other. People are either learning to play the deck better, or they're losing and getting off of the deck, or people are learning to play into that deck better.
Yeah, I figured it would be the last one. I mean, because people are probably getting more and more familiar playing against yellow than ever before.
Yes.
So now it's like, and I guess you also could maybe argue, I mean, maybe Boa is just worse than Luffy. So if you're going to play a yellow deck, which one's arguably the better yellow deck? And I guess maybe it's the time they figured it out and people are going to Yellow Luffy.
I personally think Yellow Luffy is absolutely the better deck. I think in a vacuum between the two, Luffy wins the Luffy Boa matchup like 70+% of the time. Yep. I don't know. I wasn't even looking at the 72% of the time. I didn't even look at it. I was just guessing off the top of my head off of games that I've run. It is a really easy matchup for Yellow Luffy. I think Boa just has like a good spread into other leaders. Like Boa's pretty good into Emu and Boa's pretty good into Ace. And like we talked about last week, being good into the top 2 or top 3 decks is like thumbs up, you know?
Yeah, and it's not even like that she's really good into the other 2 bad matchups or good matchups, right? Or bad matchups like
Are very close still. Outside of Luffy, like her matchup spread overall, like she probably has a better matchup spread than Yellow Luffy across the board, but that also means she has a bigger target on her back for like rogue decks and people learning specifically to play around Boa.
Yeah, it does seem kind of funny that Luffy is the yellow killer. He's really good into Gecko Moria too.
Well, Luffy and Gecko do very similar things, except Gecko has to go -6 to be a 6 cost leader or a 6 life leader. And that's a lot of like hand like resource to lose when you don't have a draw engine.
So besides that, is there anything else you want to talk about with the top 10? Like,
I mean, not really. I guess I'm a little surprised that Jinbei's still on the list. Maybe he'll stay in the meta. Maybe people love Jinbei enough that he'll stick around until the EB set or until set 15. It's not a bad deck by any means. It does really good into Mihawk. It maybe does good into Emu. I'm not sure. It looks like Emu has a favorable matchup into it, but not crazy favorable.
yeah, it's only really good into like Mihawk, Boa, and
I
up Luffy.
think Jinbei is going to fall out of the meta soon, and I think Purple Yellow Rosinante might climb in.
Yeah, because once EBO3, we're going to talk about that, of course, I think next week when we talk about the power rankings. You have a couple contenders coming up. I really don't think it's, of course, the new VV leader, but Nami does gain quite a bit of action with the
Yeah,
Nami, Robin, and etc. And then you also have Kobe getting a little love, and then you have Rosante also getting love. So like,
along the lines of like Rosinante getting love, it's also actually Green Yellow Law and Yellow Kid because it's like another Supernova Law card.
yeah, I mean Supernovas, we've been getting less and less and less of it. So it's kind of nice to see them getting some love for those decks. I am curious to see how like who I still am curious of who the 6 starter decks we get in July is going to be, and that's really going to
Agreed.
determine. Maybe Jinbei's one of them. Like Jinbei needs some more help. Like if he gets a
What
couple more fishmen.
didn't we get speculation on the 6 of them? Like there was a potential leak of the 6 leaders.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, we've done a speculation on this channel or this podcast.
No, 1,000,000% over the last week since the last podcast. There was a post put out by multiple official like One Piece people, like Orange Samurai, on not like more than speculation either. Like even it's like unconfirmed leaks. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
I'm curious to see if I'm right.
I don't think Jinbei was the blue leader. Purple Katakuri. No, it was Kuzan. It's supposed to be black, red Sabo, purple Katakuri, yellow Kid, green Zoro, starter deck 25, red Luffy, and then Kuzan.
With 21 Luffy.
Yes, 21 Luffy. The
That's
red
depressing.
one.
I was
agreed.
Off. I was off. The one that I thought...
It's not a confirmed leak. It's just something that has been heard from rumors at like distribution. So it could be subject to change.
I mean, I'm fine with Katakuri. I mean, Katakuri, it makes some sense because so basically what they threw at us in PRBO2 support, they're kind of throwing at us as a starter deck. makes sense because Katakuri did get pudding and a few other things.
There's certainly no chance that 7-cost pudding SR gets reprinted in the structure.
No. I'm saying the leaders they helped in PRBO2 seem to be the ones that also may be potentially getting the starter packs.
Well, you also, like, Kuzan didn't get really anything in PRB2, but he is a leader that struggles a lot. Also, like, Katakuri makes sense in, like, the thought that a purple Katakuri leader would also help Pudding, who is losing all of the yellow Big Mom support. So if we, like, look at it from the sense of, like, these leaders could be replacing support cards that are rotating out, maybe.
Valid. I'm kind of sad though that my main one I was hoping is not on that list. But
Jinbei?
no, my number one I really wanted was green purple Luffy. Because I figured they had to put a Luffy in one of them, and I was hoping green purple Luffy was the choice because he is a hyper competitive leader, and he only got main support in one set, which is his release set. Besides,
he's gotten no. He's gotten so much legacy support every time. Any, like, red green Luffy support that was green could easily slot into green. Like, that Nami is insane. There's no reason not to run that Nami in green purple Luffy.
Yeah.
Dead Man's Game. Like, when a deck gets basically all of the support it needs to be good immediately, you don't have to give it more support.
Yeah, I was thinking like, something more like another Sanji pudding.
No. For what? Why? It doesn't need another one. Fair. The deck already has like 12 searchers, 10 to 12 searchers that find Sanji pudding. I know sometimes you don't see it, but the deck is so consistent. Like, it needs to be able to die in some games.
Fair, but my thing is, like, I haven't really seen it. It hasn't been around, so I'm thinking it must be lacking something that it could use.
It's just worse in the meta that we're in. A lot of things play better into it, or people just aren't testing it. Like, it wasn't super good into Emu, and it wasn't super good into Ace, I don't think. So it wasn't really played in 13. But, like, it was played a crazy amount
before that.
In the format. Yeah, the format before that. And, like, the format before that as well. Like, as soon as it came out in EBO2, it was very heavily played until 13. I can't even tell you the number of, like, matches I played into it at Nats in September.
I agree. That was the reason why I thought they would target it, because it looks like it got pushed out by the last two sets. And it maybe a little extra something they gave it in purple could boost it up to where it would be a top 10 deck again, top 20.
I think they would have to reintroduce more purple Straw Hat cards.
Yeah.
And they're kind of trying to dance around doing that. The moment you introduce more purple Straw Hat cards, the more blue-purple Luffy has to fuck around with.
That's a valid criticism for sure. So, I mean, on that, besides that, like, there's not much I guess to also talk about here. I mean, for the most part, 6 through 8, 10 have been staying still. Probably, I do gotta agree, Jinbei probably going to fall off next week. I would be surprised if it didn't. It's just curious what kid's going to replace it next week until EBO3 comes.
I think it's going to be Purple Yellow Rosinante. I think a lot of high-level players are, like, testing it, and I think a lot of people are maybe thinking about taking it to Nats as, like, a sleeper pick. I think it might see more play over the next week.
It did actually perform quite well when me and Repreacher were playing it on stream without the EBO3 support. So, like, it did... No, actually, no, we did play it. No?
I played a bunch of games earlier today against one of my testing buddies, and he was on it, and it performed very well. It's a very strong deck. It's very consistent. They run 8 searchers that find the cards that they need, and then they run 4 of a searcher that finds their searchers. So essentially 8 searchers.
Yeah, that promo law really did help the deck out quite a bit.
Yes.
Like a lot.
Yep. So did the law in Rosinante. I think the deck would still struggle a little bit without the law in Rosinante, but now with it, it really pops off. It's very, very strong. Being able to play an 8,000 cost or an 8,000 power body for essentially 4 cost is bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very good card. I mean, even Doflamingo is playing 2 copies as the most winning list. So, I mean, clearly I need to pick this card up, I guess, so I could have a deck similar to this one. I have every card but that for my deck. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good card and it's showing up. So, it doesn't surprise me. And, I mean, for the most part, Rosanti does feel like a pillow floor deck. Tons of blockers in the deck. The 4-drop, the 8-drop. Like it's blocker after blocker after blocker, which is not a bad thing. And plus it itself can make himself like a 8k lead for the turn because you also get to play bullet strings if you want.
Yep. My buddy did that a lot. He would play down the purple higher end law. Yep, the purple 7-drop and boost himself to 6k, and then he would bullet string and boost himself to 8.
Yes, it's pretty strong, pretty good.
Yeah. Very, very strong.
The only I guess you bring that up. The only other contention I could see here is Roger. I don't know if Roger could even stand up today.
Yeah, I could see Roger squeaking into 10. I could also maybe see like Carrot, just because people really like that deck. But I think Roger is like maybe number 1 on the list. I think that, well, my top pick is Rosinante just because I think it's a sleeper contender right now. But I think Roger is a crazy, precise hit. I think you're right. I think that's maybe even more likely than Rosinante.
Yeah, because I don't think any other purple deck besides that's going to hit it. I mean, none of the other Luffys are going to make it.
No.
I mean, because purple Luffy is falling off. Purple black Luffy, I'm telling you, is a sleeper pick. I'm kidding.
It's not good right now, unfortunately.
I mean, it has a little bit of everything, but I understand. It's a 4-life leader. If it had a 5-life, it might be pretty okay, but...
Unfortunately, that's the sentiment of a ton of 4-life leaders. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I'm a big lover of Peanut Butter Luffy. I've spent way too much money on that deck.
I just bought the Namis for that deck. The
Nice.
2-drop Namis. Because I want it. I want to play purple. I love purple and I love Straw Hat Luffy. So yeah. I mean, other than that, because I do think purple and black is going to end up being more on KO. I'm kind of curious to see how many more leaders are going to get that kind of effect in the future. I mean, Gecko, Mori, and Croc have it, so like maybe that's just how they're going to do black going forward. But
right. Maybe.
So, but let's go ahead and talk about the new cards. So, speaking of black, technically Brooke does... Oh, wait. 2 card. There we go. So, technically black doesn't have it. Brooke doesn't have the on KO effect. But he does get the green effect at the very end to be able to restand something. A lot of people are thinking he's going to be really strong with a conjunction with 9-drop Zoro because you get to attack 3-4 times with him.
Yep.
Green in the set does have a little bit more interesting takes, I would say. So it's not as boring as normal, in my opinion. I don't really care for the color green in this game.
I don't think we've seen any green Brook support so far.
Outside of Brook.
Yeah, outside of Brook. I think the Arlong is more geared towards being played in Krieg.
Yes.
I don't know. Good. Yeah, it's insane. All of the cards that Don Krieg has gear. Well, I don't remember what the Pearl does, but all of the other cards are busted.
Pearl is a pushed Lucky Roo.
Oh yeah, right. It's just better Lucky Roo. I forgot.
Because it's a chopper. It's a 2020 chopper mixed with a Lucky Roo.
Oh my goodness.
And look at that
Yeah,
artwork. He looks crazy.
it's a pretty good card.
Yes.
The 8-cost Krieg, not to jump off of, we were talking about Brook. I'm immediately already so baffled by how good all of the Krieg support is.
Yes. They, weirdly enough, it's and I like the fact that they made him Slash, right? Even though
Yeah,
technically
so he's a Mihawk victim.
yes. But even though he's not technically 100% Slash because he has all those bullets and everything he
Cannons,
shoots.
yeah.
So, like, it's kind of weird that he's just Slash, not special. But it makes sense that he gets KO'd by Mihawk.
Well, yes, I do agree. It's great and funny that he gets KO'd by Mihawk and is like weak to Mihawk. The slash is based off of his spear, and also guns are not considered special; they are ranged.
Yeah, that's valid because we have a strike.
Usually, special is like devil fruit, like Enel.
Yeah.
And then like strike is like fisty people like Luffy.
We don't have a lot of range. There's some ranged. I was like, ranged
Yeah,
is very
no,
uncommon.
we don't. It's very few. The one that came to my mind was the OPO2, maybe it's OPO1, the old Ezo, the green one that rests. That's like the first one that came to my mind. It is very few and far between.
I don't even know if we even have a ranged leader.
I don't know. What is Bello Betty?
Frankie should be ranged when he comes out.
Yeah, agree.
I would hope. Makes sense. Special.
We might not have a ranged leader yet, actually.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be something very interesting because, I mean, the other attributes are represented.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of curious. Maybe.
I think Slash and Strike are probably the two most represented, followed by Special. But there have been multiple metas where Slash type was like the only type of leader.
And here's
like back in OPO3.
Here's Wisdom. I don't really know what.
Wisdom is such a weird one. Like what do you even categorize as falling into that? Very strange. That's the weirdest typing. Everything else makes sense. Guns are ranged. Slash is in relation to a blade. Strike is like getting hit. Special has to do with like weird devil fruit power. What is wisdom? What is wisdom?
What Vegapunk does, I guess. His brain's so smart that he just punches you with knowledge.
You know, you got me there, dude. You got me there.
But what is Rebecca doing? She just, I guess, her wisdom. She doesn't strike. All she does is make
defend.
All she does is make you hurt yourself.
Yeah,
because she just dodges and then she trips you and you fall off. So I guess maybe that's why she's wisdom. It's because she doesn't actually hurt you. It is interesting. The other one I guess would be, I'm curious to see, is Shirahoshi. She's 11, isn't she?
Oh, I'm gonna say probably special, but could certainly be ranged, or not ranged.
That's a pastor.
Wisdom.
I
think they just give it to all of. I'm gonna get flayed for this. All of the useless characters they give wisdom.
Is it OP13? I mean, OP03, is that where Iceberg came? Wisdom.
Oh, yep.
So I guess every character that can't attack has wisdom?
It looks that way.
I guess
they're just so wise. So wise.
Yeah, they make their cronies work for them. Makes sense. That makes sense. Man, that is so weird. And I do agree. It's such a weird thing. I mean, is even her? She's wisdom. Like, what is?
But could have been ranged. Why is it? She has a cannon. She's holding a blast bazooka.
But and then yeah, in that regard, she should actually have power.
Yeah.
because I don't think a cannon would not hurt. So I don't know. Like I definitely think like we're gonna get into the of course next podcast we talk about. Nope, that's EBO3, not OP15. I really am interested to see how Krieg actually performs. Cause I think this actually might be the best green red leader ever. There's a potential for that. I know. I
I
know.
think Red Green Law was incredible for its time. To
Yes.
compare an OP15 leader to an OP1 leader is hard to do justly. But yes, I
And
do think Krieg is insane.
in all defense, I kind of actually glossed over Law. I was comparing from Smoker to Luffy and
Mm,
onward. Not really the
true.
old ones. I'm comparing like the more modern red green leaders.
Yeah, I would I would even say including Red Green Law and OPO1 Red Green Luffy, Krieg is still probably the best, at least on paper. If they don't, if like this is all the support that we have for it and the rest of the support is vanillas, it's going to be a bad deck.
You're right. I forgot about the red green Luffy from OP Block One. I was talking about OP13 Luffy.
Oh, I know. I know.
Oh man, there's not that many Christmas colored ones. Uh,
No, there isn't. It's a very select small group. It's like 4 or 5
there's
leaders,
there's five.
including Craig.
He's the fifth one, I
Krieg.
think.
Jesus. Craig. LOL.
Krieg. Craig.
Don Craig.
Yes, he's Craig from South Park. Um, yeah, I do think they kind of made him too strong for his actual
Mm-hmm.
character. Like
Agreed.
he is way stronger than he should be. Um,
Why is he actively the strongest character represented when there's Lucy and Brooke and Enel?
yeah, and now only got beat because of the fact that well, he faced it his only
Yeah,
weakness.
his natural weakness.
Otherwise, he never would have lost. And yeah, he's stronger than all of them.
Right, exactly. Like Enel toast. The only person that I think Enel doesn't absolutely decimate out of the new leaders is Lucy, which is Sabo.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, chat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Lucy is Sabo. It's not Luffy.
Yes.
He's the only one because he's like the second in command of the Revolutionary Army, and he's been built up to be very, very strong in the story. I think he is probably the only, and he has like a Logia as well. So he's like the only other person that would maybe stand up, or like he's the only person out of these leaders that I think could probably stand up to an L. And
But
even
then
that, I'm not
again,
even sure.
what can Anel do to Brooke? He's no body, right? He's just bones. What are you gonna electrocute?
Yeah, I mean, you got me there.
I
I
mean,
I feel like there's probably a voltage that you could like
by the bones.
disintegrate the bones at, but
True.
he also just gets repaired by drinking milk. So you got me there.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
But then again, he's still not. I don't even know if he'd be considered the top five in Straw Hats. Power.
That's a really tough debate because it's obviously
The four.
Luffy,
The four are
Zoro,
picked.
Sanji,
Jinbei.
Jinbei, and then like who's 5? Is it Robin, Frankie, or Brooke? Brooke is probably stronger than Frankie, but is Brooke stronger than Robin? Maybe?
I don't know.
Like we don't really have power scaling to that degree where we like see what they're like. Brooke has a lot of experience, but so does Nico Robin. She was like on the run from the world government from the time she was like 9. So it's not like she's a weak character. So it's really hard to power scale them as who's like the definitive 5th.
Yeah. Like in most conversations, are always the top three and the bottom three. There's never the middle ones. They always get left out. Like everyone knows Chopper, Usopp and
And Nami.
Nami are the weakest three.
Yep.
Um, which is, and everyone knows Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy are the best big three.
Yep. Up until Jinbei got added, and then there was like, and I still think it's literally just Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. Like, it's been represented as their positions in the crew. They are probably stronger, but like Jinbei is not a weakling either.
No, he's not. You really haven't seen a lot of Brook to know how actually powerful he is.
Exactly. I think maybe in Elbaf we'll get some more information on him, his backstory, and maybe like his strengths as a character.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. Like, I mean, Brooke probably could do something, but oh my gosh, can we really talk? Can we have a rant about this girl? Like, how is this card printed in 2026? Seriously.
You mean another leader that can't attack?
I mean, Shirahoshi, at least I could see the potential in Shirahoshi. And she's actually she's starting to get good.
Some of the Shirahoshi support is insane.
Yes.
Some of it does a little bit too much and can be overwhelming very quickly. I don't see that same level of dedication to Rebecca. You're telling me that she can, first off, can bounce any card back to hand, which, like, dope. She can't run Leo right now because Leo is locked to Usopp. So they're gonna get another searcher. So, like, what's the ideal play? You bounce the searcher back to hand and then you play a 3-cost out. 3 costs are so easy to remove. Like, they better all be like, oh, this character can't be removed. This character gains +5 cost on field. This character gains plus 3k. Like, they have to do so much to make these 3-cost bodies, like, viable. I don't see Rebecca being stellar. I'll eat my words. We'll come back to this in a couple weeks when we have way more leaks. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words, but I don't think I'm going to be. I think Rebecca is going to get really shit support. I think all of the good cards are going to just be played in Lucy instead because it's going to be the better Dressrosa leader out of the two. And then we're just going to have a bunch of underwhelming 3-cost characters that are like 3-4, discard 2 cards, this character gains rush.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm just like, when I looked at her, I'm like, I'm kind of curious to see if she could even be better than the old blue-black Rebecca.
And I wonder that as well. So far from what we've seen, I don't think so, because that one could at least, like, manipulate the board. It was at least a control variation of a deck, whereas this looks like it's just a worse version of Jinbei so far.
Yeah, I mean, you have 3-drop, which, I mean, on KO is a draw card, and then you activate once per turn, put your bottom, this character gains rush, like, and this also gains rush by trashing a card.
I didn't even read Orlumbus's cost until just now. You're telling me you have to bottom deck one of your own characters? Oh my god, you're losing tempo just to gain rush, and you still have to put a Dawn on him to even swing neutral. This card's terrible.
Yep, and then he's a little bit better, but you still have to go down a card in hand to gain rush.
Yeah, at least when he's KO'd, he cycles back to your hand, but he doesn't have counter. They could have given him he is locked to Rebecca. He could have had 1k counter. He could have been a 3-5 situational rush locked to Rebecca. He could have been this exact same card with 1k counter, and I would have been absolutely fine with it with how bad Rebecca is as a leader.
Yeah, he might be better than the old Rebecca.
Yeah, honestly, he probably is.
It's just, I don't understand this. Like, I don't understand. I get why thematically she can't attack because she's just a pacifist, but at the same time, like, she should have a better effect to compensate. Like,
Yeah, like the way the Vivi leader from EBO3, it's like a replacement for the old one, and it can give something rush, but it could also attack. Like, why can't this just give something rush? Why didn't they make this the blue, like blue red? I don't know.
yeah,
I'm underwhelmed.
I'm just blown away by this. And earlier I was talking about the Red Rock, kind of going into Lucy, kind of like, do you think there's going to be a replacement Red Rock for
I've brought
Revolutionary Army?
I've brought that up under the exact same situation. Like maybe we get a non-straw hat Red Rock, like a Revolutionary Army Red Rock or a Dressrosa Red Rock even. Maybe. I don't know. We could. Or Bandai could just get rid of large end removal entirely, and that would be valid too.
Yeah, one of my main concerns about Lucy is we literally, how many sets did it take to make Sanji playable? And that's also very similar in regards to it's a very event driven leader. So like
What Sanji?
the blue purple Sanji.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it took so
A
much
lot.
support to get to the point where now where he's actually a valuable deck. Pretty solid
Mm-hmm.
actually. I'm just really worried that Lucy's going to be in the same boat. Like it's going to take a lot of multiple sets to get him to the point where he could actually even be playable
So
as a better ace, right? Because that's what he is.
the thing is, yes, he's just a better OPO3 ace, subjectively.
He has more best
Um,
life, yeah.
Lucy already has a ton of support. You can run Karasu in this. You can run both Ivankovs. You can run 8-cost Dragon. There's already a ton of support. You get Revolutionary Army stage to search out Rev Army stuff. Like there's already a whole archetype. It's just not Dressrosa. You just take all of the good red Rev Army stuff and then you sprinkle in some good blue support.
So I mean, I guess that could be valid. My concern would be more of it's not then it wouldn't be really built around the event or stages.
Well, it doesn't have to be. It's not like, oh, hey, you have to have 9 events in your hand so you can trash 9 cards for counter. It's more like, think of Odin from EBO1. Every single Wano character is a 1k counter. Every single card in this deck is a 1k counter. Not, it depends. Like, obviously, whatever characters you run that are bricks, but every single stage and event that you now run is a 1k counter, or it's +1 Dawn. So, like, you don't have to force the deck to be all events. You just get to run good events and not worry about them being bricks.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if you would be playing stuff like Honesty Impact or not. I mean, because it's technically you would KO something, draw a card, but
It depends on the meta. It depends heavily on like how good KOing stuff is. Because I would rather just like Gravity Blade 2 characters off the board and then draw a card.
yes, you have that too. That's what I was thinking. Like, I wasn't really thinking about the first effect. I was thinking more of the second effect. Like, you need enough to where potentially you could draw cards for net
Yeah, I
gain.
mean,
But I was
you don't got to use it every turn. Like, also, theoretically, how many 3+ cost cards or like events do you want in your deck? Even with them being a one, like that was the big issue that Ace had. It didn't have good bodies to play out that were also synergistic to like the events. You had to run so heavily on your events to win. and it just lacked the support. Whereas like there are already good Dressrosa stuff. Like make your opponent a 4K leader every single turn and swing bodies into it.
So we did manage to get 2 more spoilers since last time. We got 2 of support,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know about this guy. Enel in general now, like, because he only has a very small amount of actual possible characters he could have. So we have Almond and Jetsu. They're both 1 drops, 2K counter. I mean, 2K attackers. This one, of course, on play. Both of them, you on play -1 Dawn, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess. Like, and then when attacking, if you have 6 or less Dawn, you give one of your opponent's characters -1,000 power, so you can KO. You can attack into a 3K attacker or a rested 3K. I just
Well, I think the idea, scroll over to the Godetsu real quick. I think the idea is to try comboing the 2 of them together to KO one of your opponent's characters.
A 3K.
But yeah, but it's not a base power of 2, and there's nothing saying you can't have multiple ohms on field.
Yes.
Also, Enel's leader effect puts 4 Dawn onto a character.
True.
So then, all of these swing 6.
That is true.
Also, they don't... Sorry. What were you going to say?
No. Go ahead.
Enel doesn't necessarily have to be locked to just his, like, vassals. It can be everything from Sky Island. Like, we could get purple Straw Hat Sky Island cards still. There's nothing saying that it has to be, like, Godetsu, Ohm, Holly, Satori. Satorio? The
Satorio, yeah.
round guy. And then, like, his brothers. Like, it can be... We can get a... I think we'll probably get a Gonfall card. We'll maybe get, like, Conus. But maybe it will be, like, purple Sky Island will be like the villains, and then yellow Sky Island will be like the good guys. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that, but there's nothing saying that it has to be that way.
I understand that, but I was under the pressure. I was assuming that Enel was going to be the best character in his color, and then his vassals were going to be probably the other best characters in his pool. Just because they are his strongest characters. And these are, to me, were just underwhelming.
Yeah, but there's nothing saying we don't get, like, the other ones that we get aren't better. And there's nothing saying that we don't get multiple Ohms or multiple Godetsus.
Fair,
but guess. I do see your point. And, like, yeah, they probably should be a little bit better. But it's a weenie deck. It's like purple Rayleigh is how it reads to me. Just with worse attack. Better big boss, worse Dawn allocation.
Yeah. Fair enough. I was just very underwhelmed when I seen these 2. I was thinking these maybe were going to be like a 3-drop. Like,
I'm not thrilled with them.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you. I'm not over here jazzed on either of these cards. They are very underwhelming, but they could be fine. The whole package could end up being good. I just try not to judge too, like, seeing a leader and being like, oh my goodness, that is so cracked is a better mindset than going into something and being like, oh, this is shit. Because I've done that too many times where I judged a leader very harshly and then I had to eat my words. OPO9 Shanks and Rayleigh, I talked a lot of smack on both of them. They're both pretty good decks. It just really depends on the support that we end up getting with the leaders.
That's how I was interpreting him originally. I figured he'd either be he's really good based on the support or he's just going to be really bad. I mean, either way, I didn't care. So I was kind of hoping, being optimistic, that they would print a bunch of good support for him, so that way he would be immediately you could see the vision for this guy. But
Yeah.
then they revealed him. I was like, okay, we're on track. This is a good card. And then they revealed these two.
Well, there's nothing saying we don't get like a one cost Makino, but for purple. That gives like plus 3k boost to your one cost characters. Cause we're one or two cards away from even these cards being really, really good. Like if we get a card that static boosts all of your vassals like power and then also makes it where they can't be removed or makes removing them harder, and that's not an impossible thing for us to receive. There's a 4-cost Luffy, a green one that protects Straw Hats, and it gives plus 1k boost to all of your Straw Hats that are a certain cost or higher.
Yeah, 4
so it's
higher.
like not out of the range of possibility that we get protection that also gives a power boost.
You're not wrong. We did get Moby Dick.
And this is specific. So. Yeah, we could get like an Arc Noah. Or no, Arc Noah is the Arc Maxim is the one I'm thinking of, is an L ship. We could get an Arc Maxim that just gives a static boost the same way Moby Dick did. I am also trying to stay optimistic.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like to overly judge, even though I just talked a bunch of shit on Rebecca, I don't like to be overly critical on leaders until I see more of their support.
I agree. I mean, that's what I was kind of hoping. I'm hoping maybe the next two are give a little more vision, and you see a lot more. We did get a Luffy, which looks cracked. So
this Luffy has been like a huge conversation piece for a lot of decks, even outside of Broke.
Yes, I mean you could play it. You could play it in Blackbeard, but I kind of quench at that if you. But
I have heard a lot of people talking about running it in Blackbeard and even running it in Emu and in Crocodile. This would be a really good Crocodile card.
I can see that. Like you do trash quite a bit of cards. I mean, he has a 7-drop, 9k. Not that hard to do that. Plus, he's a 17 cost. Good luck removing that.
He also boosts your leader to 7k power on your opponent's turn.
If you have 20.
Yeah.
And trash.
That's not hard in Crocodile.
Yeah.
That's really easy.
It's probably harder in Blackbeard, but it's not that hard.
Yes. And it's not even terribly hard in Blackbeard, but that is out of the 3 decks that I just mentioned, Blackbeard is probably the hardest one to achieve it in.
Yeah. But 10 is not that hard, for sure.
No, just to get the base effect of it being 9k power.
Yeah.
That 10's not hard at all. Yeah, every black deck can do that.
I don't know about every deck, but
every mono black deck can do that very easily.
Fair. I was like, because I would have loved to play this in Black Purple Luffy, but
yeah, Black Purple Luffy hasn't been a trash based deck since Gecko Moria got banned.
Yeah, so I mean, you're right. Like Lucci could play this if he really wanted to.
Yep.
Maybe that actually could be something.
Beard, Emu, Crocodile.
Maybe that actually.
Maybe Moria.
Maybe this is the card that makes Lucci good. Because isn't he mainly bad into just Emu? Like, if this can make you a 7k lead against
it's
Emu,
only a 7k lead on your opponent's turn, though.
Yeah, because
which is like when you would need it, but no, Lucci isn't only specifically bad into Emu. Lucci is bad into a wide spread of decks in the meta for multiple metas.
And also doesn't help the fact that once this comes out, his best cards rotate, like Kuzan.
Yes. Lucci is getting other support, though. There's like a 4-cost Lucci that's basically Burgess that they get.
That's from EB. That's from EB04, right?
I believe so, which we get in 15.
Yeah.
The second half of EB04 we get in 15.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's right. That's pretty difficult to load
Yeah,
up.
because we got blue, purple, and green in 14. We're getting black, red, and yellow in 15.
This
Yep,
guy.
that's the Lucci. If your leader's type includes CP, this character gains +2 cost and 1k power for every 5 cards in your trash. On play, you may trash one card, trash one of your characters, draw a card. And then you could also just play this off of the 3 cost Spandime or Spandine. Spandam, whichever one it is from EB.
And then you have another one here that basically says your opponent character can't attack. So it does seem like
Yeah.
they are pushing this in black more frequently. I know some people are excited to see how some of these cards might actually affect black straw hats. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with this, and also I don't know about Pirate Docking Foot 6. Oh yeah, I remember that from the show.
Yeah, it literally goes along with the 1 cost event. They try to have Robin dock as the other arm, and she says, I find it embarrassing.
As a human being.
Yeah, that's her response. That's why Frankie has like an open hand. Robin is supposed to be like the other makeshift arm or like part of the arm, and
Yeah.
she's like, no.
This is from isn't it from Gekamori Thrill Bark?
Yeah, it's from Thriller Bark.
Yeah. This game's so it's 11. You trash 3 cards from top of your deck, then play up to 1 Straw Hat type character with 2 cost 2 or less. So it's not
Meaning
really
that
it's not bad.
we're gonna get probably good 2 cost or lower black straw hat cards, I would imagine.
Or green.
Oh yeah, or green, because it's not color locked to what it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, since he is green based, I mean, I assume there's gonna be a lot of black. As Straw Hats are gonna be in black, which is very
Well,
weird because we're getting black Straw Hats and we're getting yellow Straw Hats in the exact same set. It's like
it is very strange that that's happening. I don't know many other, like off the top of my head, I can't think of many other times that that's happened. Um, I guess we got Nami and Blue Purple Luffy in the same set, but they shared blue.
color. Yeah.
I think a lot of Brook's support is going to be black because Don Krieg is green. There
Yeah.
not a different black leader. There isn't a different black mix leader. So all of the black support outside of legacy support for other leaders, like usually the leaders from the last set get a card or two in the new set. Not always, but sometimes.
So you think there is a chance we might be getting another Croc support?
Yeah. I could
set?
definitely see Croc getting like a card. Croc wasn't a leader that got all of its support pushed out immediately, whereas like Emu was a leader that had all of its support pushed out immediately, and it was already a really good deck on release, so they didn't give it direct support. Like it plays ground death, which is more than enough support for that stupid leader, but overall, I think Croc might get a card or two, but I think 98% of the black cards in OP15 are going to be Brook related. We might get a handful of green cards that are Brook related, but I think most of the green is going to be Don Krieg support because he is locked specifically to East Blue. And all of our green East Blue cards are rotating out. Well, not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah, like Nami and etc.
Yep. Nami, Searcher, the old Jean, Don Krieg, the old Pearl, yeah, all the old Fishman stuff, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, all that old green stuff from OPO3, which is like basically the last time we had green East Blue. Outside of the very specifically locked East Blue Zoro stuff, like Tashigi and whatever else.
It is
Kuina, blah blah blah.
It is kind of sad he's not 2 typed Brook, Because it would be kind
Yeah,
of cool to see if they would have print some of his original crew
I
as
was
black
like
support.
Roombar Pirates.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised. Like I knew it was gonna be Straw Hat, but I had a thought that it was gonna be like Thriller Bark. I thought it was also going to be inadvertently like Gecko Moria support or like Perona support, and it's not at all.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad. Um, I'm kind of glad he's doing his own thing.
It just makes it easier for leaders to get like legacy support when things overlap like that. Like Gecko Moria is still a leader from the last set. I
Yeah.
thought Brook was maybe going to be like part yellow. Since Luffy is yellow, I thought maybe he would be like yellow black or something like that. But I guess it's kind of weird to try doing a second yellow black leader right after they released one in the last set.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
don't normally double down on colors like that.
and actually, I'm hoping this is like maybe the first good green black leader.
Yeah, because Isho and Perona are both very lackluster.
Oh crap! I forgot about Perona. We're gonna get a bunch of down votes for this.
You're gonna get a bunch of down votes. I didn't forget about Perona. I'm pro Perona. I'm pro Rona. If you wait, no, that sounds like coronavirus. Never mind, scratch that. But
I'll edit that out. I'm
I
kidding.
like Perona. That's like I said. I was kind of thinking that Brook was gonna be Thriller Bark type. That way we could get like maybe some more green Thriller Bark to legacy support Perona, or some black Thriller Bark for like Gecko Moria and Perona. It didn't have to be anything crazy, but just something. And then it could also work off of old Thriller Bark stuff as well, which already draws and discards cards to help fill up the trash. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just my concern is like, are we really gonna get like two Nico Robins in the set and two Namis because we're gonna get a black one too?
Maybe. I mean, I would assume so. I hope so. The more Nico Robin cards, the better.
You're not wrong. I mean, she's definitely my favorite female character in the show. Um, but it's like, man, like it's just weird having two cards of the same
Of the
character
same
in
characters,
the
but
same
in
show,
different colors. Yeah,
in the same,
it
I mean,
is.
the same
It's
set.
strange. It is strange. I'm
Just,
outside of it being like a Luffy card because that shit happens all the time. But like for an actual character that's not Luffy to get two character cards in the same set that are different colors, it's wild. It's crazy, kind of. Very weird.
I wonder if that did they put two Straw Hat sections in here just to sell the set because they realized that because they realized they made Rebecca and they realized that that's not going to be something that's going to make this set sell. So they put two different Straw Hats.
They were like, yo, listen, we know you guys love and hate Enel. We're bringing them back. But you get another Luffy leader and a Brook. And people were like, no, just give us Brook. We don't want Luffy. We don't want Enel.
Yeah, because like it is so bad because you're immediately comparing him to the previous Luffy leader,
Yep.
Egghead.
He is way worse than starter deck or 29 Luffy. Absolutely. I don't know why they made a yellow Luffy leader in 15 after making an Egghead Luffy leader that also gets support that releases in OP 15 because of the way they split EB. It's so weird. Usually they don't, like I said earlier, they don't normally double down on like a leader having a color and then the next set it being the same leader, the same color. Usually it's like split colors. Like they don't normally double down on like, oh, this color, this leader was like red green. So like we're going to wait a handful of sets before we make another red green. And every set gets like a mono yellow or like a yellow mix. But it's crazy. if I had a nickel for every time they released a yellow Luffy leader back to back, I'd have one nickel. But it's weird that they released 2 Luffy leaders back to back that were yellow.
Unless they made this product way before they made OP Star Trek 29.
I mean, no.
I mean, they could have started development on the SD29 when way after.
Yeah, but this stuff takes 6 to 8 months in advance. Like, they've known about ST29 and like the leaders for OP15 up at Bandai for months, like maybe a year even. Like, the amount of time that goes into producing enough stock to package and then sell, and like we get leaks a month ahead of time, so like all of the stock that's going to be sold on day one has been printed and packaged for months. So it's like they know about all of this super far in advance. So it's like, even if they started working on the starter deck a little bit beforehand, they were like, the design team wasn't like, oh, this is weird that we're also going to follow it up with another leader of the same color and name. Like, they could have just did a different Straw Hat in yellow for Sky Island.
Hear me
They
out.
could have given us a new Robin leader.
So what they could have done, honestly, the easiest thing they could have done is like, you know what? We already designed this card for Luffy. Now we know there's starter deck 29 Luffy. Let's keep every single text the same, but let's just make him Wiper. Done.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they could have just...
Everyone was wanting a Wiper leader. Like, he's only on Skypiea. Like, it's the only chance to get a Wiper leader.
It's crazy that we didn't get one. Like, literally, it could have just been a different yellow character. And like, it's not the fact that, oh, starter deck 29 was yellow and now we're getting another mono yellow. It's the fact that it's Luffy, yellow Luffy, starter deck 29, and then 2 months later, yellow Luffy again.
Yeah,
I agree. It should have been Wiper.
And it wouldn't even be that hard. It wouldn't even be that hard to do, because all they do is change the name, the typing, the artwork, and the ranged. It's not strike, it's ranged. That's it. They could have left the light the same, the effect the same. Yep. And it could have been just Wiper.
You just changed the name to Wiper and you changed Straw Hat to Shandorian. Yeah. It's that easy.
Yeah, people would have been much happier. It does bring up a good point, though. I wish Bandai would do more polling. Ask us what we actually would want, because then they would have known in advance that, hey, a lot of people did want a Wiper leader. Like,
so I think they base it a lot off of just general popularity from the show. Like, Luffy, hands down, is obviously a way more popular character than Wiper, but I don't think they understand the general fatigue that we get from Luffy leaders.
No, I don't. It's probably partially that, but I still think people do want to see other leaders. Like, and just
no, absolutely. Like, we get fatigue from seeing the same characters get made into leaders. Like, I would love a Demario Black leader. I don't even know if you know who that is.
Demario Black.
Demario Black is the loser ass dude who pretends to be Luffy at the return to Sabaody.
Yeah, the fake crew.
Yes.
Fake crew.
Yes. I think they're fucking clowns. I would love a deck based around the fake Straw Hats. I think that would be hilarious. I would love another Magellan leader. Like, I completely agree with what you're getting at. I would love to see different, more unique characters being pushed as leaders versus the same 10 characters. Like, I love Trafalgar Law. I like that we have a Trafalgar Law that's playable in every block of the game. I could do without OP14 having a red Law leader.
Yeah, people were.
That really could have been Kuma.
Yeah, people were really.
Should have been Kuma.
But I think it's more of it's just such a hindsight issue. Like, Wiper literally is the leader of the Shandorian warriors. Why doesn't he have a leader card? Like, it'd be one thing if it was like, like the fake Straw Hats. Like, they're not technically a big thing, but like the Shandorian Wipers were a huge, or warriors were a huge part of that story arc. Like,
why does King have 2 leaders and Wiper has 0?
and that's another good point. Queen has a leader.
Why does Queen have a leader and Wiper doesn't? Wiper is just as important to the arc he is in as Queen.
I would say probably more important.
I would agree with that, probably. Queen's a fucking loser.
He's okay. He's okay. It just
He's a deadbeat father.
fair enough.
He's a loser.
It is a little weird though that like Queen never has a card above 6,000 power. Like, it is a little weird. Like, if he's
Never
supposed
took
to
that
be,
into consideration.
if he's the second biggest member of the squad, his second right hand man,
Right.
why is he so weak power wise? I mean,
And it's not
Jack-
like One Piece isn't a game that like bases things off of lore. Like, a lot of cards work like around each other based on how things have happened in the story.
yeah, I mean, like, Jack has bigger power characters than Queen.
I don't think Queen is known for being powerful. I think Queen is known for being smart. If that makes sense. Like, I think Jack is probably more powerful than Queen in the show. I think Queen is just of more use in different ways.
Yeah, Jack is more brute force.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, you're right. King and Queen both probably are a bit more intellectual, but fair enough. But still, Viper should have been, I think, in the set as a lead, and that would
I agree.
it would have made it a lot better. But and Rebecca, why? It's so weird. They call this a Skypiea themed, but there's just as much Dressrosa.
So they said it was Skypiea, and then like in parentheses they were like, oh, but also there's a new Straw Hat leader that's never been a leader before, and also we're doing Dressrosa. And it's like, none of those correlate. The 2 Straw Hats that don't have leaders weren't in the... Oh, no, they were like, oh, it's Skypiea and East Blue and Dressrosa and a new Straw Hat leader. It was just really shoved in all over the place.
It's like, yeah, they wanted to touch a bunch of different things, but still.
And like, instead of doing Rebecca, and like, I'm happy that we got a Brook leader, but they announced that it was going to be Dressrosa. Why didn't we get a Frankie? Frankie is in Dressrosa.
Yeah, I was anticipating a Frankie. He had a huge part of the arc.
He sure did.
That probably was his biggest actual arc he ever was a part of.
Outside of like Ennis Lobby, yeah.
I don't know. It's very weird. I mean, I don't know when we're gonna get a Frankie leader, but it does seem weird.
In another year.
Actually, I was anticipating Frankie over Brooke. I didn't even have Brooke on my radar because I assumed
I was
it was
anticipating Frankie until I saw that Bandai was releasing a grip of sleeves, and Brooke had a set of sleeves in the collection set that was coming out around the time OP15 was dropping. Because like Bandai loves to release sleeves that correlate with the leaders of the new sets. I saw the Brooke sleeves. I was like, oh, it's probably going to be Brooke.
It does a good job too, because I've actually bought 2 of them. I bought the Roger sleeves and I bought the Dofi sleeves, and now they're both sleeved up in their actual sleeves.
And like, don't get me wrong, sometimes we'll get like random sleeves. Like, I think there's a Zoro sleeve set that's coming out, or maybe there's like a Carrot sleeve set that's coming out in the same set. But usually they're pretty spot on with like the brand new leaders are probably getting like an artistic sleeve that goes with them.
Yeah, you look at Carrot, you looked at the other one, you're like, okay, well we know we have leader already, but Brooke, we
Mm-hmm.
don't have one, so that's like a red flag.
Exactly. So if like there is a new character that's getting a new leader for the first time, that you have to bet that leader is getting sleeves. Like Roger, perfect example. We didn't have Roger sleeves. Roger became or like got announced as a leader, and then right around the time OP09 dropped, sorry, OP13 dropped, we got Roger sleeves.
Honestly, if they really would have saw this up quick, all they had to do was design it as we have this OP15. We have 6 new, never before seen leaders on a card. Leaders, because you had Krieg, that's one new leader. You have Brooke. They could have now. I mean, now I guess technically they could have Wiper. They really could have advertised the set as in, hey, we have 5 never been for seen leaders as a leader.
If
And
they
it would have
really
been,
wanted this set to sell, they would have put Frankie and Brooke both in the set as leaders.
yeah, instead of Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Rebecca. No, nobody's like asking for a Rebecca leader.
I know one person specifically who loves Rebecca and is very upset that this is a bad Rebecca leader.
I mean, if I was a Rebecca fan, I would be.
Yeah, it's valid.
I would be more upset with you if you weren't upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is bad. This is bad.
I am not a Rebecca stan, but my buddy does like Rebecca as a character, and he is very upset. And from a card player perspective, I'm upset with this leader as well. Not because it's a bad Rebecca leader, but because it's a bad leader. Well, barring getting good, insane support.
Yeah,
Because as I said earlier, I try not to judge leaders until I've seen all of their cards, but it ain't looking good, dog.
the only
It ain't looking good.
The only thing they could print for her is literally a 3-drop Sanji with haste. I mean Rush.
Mm-hmm.
The one from the old 3-drop Sanji.
Yeah.
If they printed that in blue with Rush, then she's in business.
Well, I mean, we have the Kyros that has. If they just gave like in addition to the cards that they have already announced, give Rebecca a 3 cost that plays another 3 cost, and then that second 3 cost that it plays draws 2 cards and gains Rush. If it got that and like a good way to search those cards out, we'd be in business. Because you do have other blue Dressrosa cards that you can run already. Like you can technically run the 7 cost Rebecca and the 8 cost Kyros. Those are both good cards.
8-drop Kira, so that was 7, I thought.
Is he? I thought he was 8. Maybe he's 7 and then he's just an 8 because of Usopp.
Yeah. Heroes, I believe, is a 7.
I don't know. My point gets across the same way.
Yeah, people were just talking about it in that regard because Rebecca requires an 8 to cheat something else down.
No. I'm pretty sure Rebecca needs an 8 to draw a card. Rebecca always plays the characters out. I believe is the ruling on it. I'll double check real quick.
If there's a character with 8 costs or more, draw a card, then reveal 2 Dressrosa type characters with cost of 7 or less. I'm assuming that then, at least when I played it previously, I was wondering why her effect didn't work at all. And I realized it was because it works in Usopp because he makes her an 8 cost.
Yes. That is why you draw the card. I'm pretty sure the effects are not dependent on each other. Usually, if you have to do, like, if an effect requires you to do the first part of the effect before doing the second part of the effect, it will say then if you do. Like the 2 cost Ace, Luffy, or Sabo from starter deck 13. But I'm pulling up like the Judge Discord now and I'm just going to double check. That's OP10, right?
Yes. That could be valid. It just probably means that the simulator is bugged because I'm pretty sure it didn't work when I did it. I'll have to recheck it, and if it is, then I'll have to report it. Yeah, but you're not wrong. So if Rebecca got a 3 drop that cheated in a 2 or less drop, it would be the
It
only
would
way.
need to cheat in an additional 3. It would have to be strong enough to play another one of the cards that could have rush. No, it looks like you have to have the 8 cost. I'll look more into it later.
So
You might be right though.
is there anything else you want to, any other card you want to look at in particular before we close out the podcast?
No, I think we're good. Nothing is too crazy, and we covered most of the leaders already. A lot of the support is so far. We don't really have that much. All of the Krieg support is very strong.
Yeah, I think I do find it a little weird though that a lot of it seems like a lot of Krieg support is going to be just generic support,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's going to have his main characters, Krieg, Pearl, and what's the other? He has 2 other characters for him.
Jean. I think it's just Krieg, Pearl, and Jean as like the named characters that were part of the Krieg Pirates.
Yeah, so like it is a little weird. So it seems like there's going to be a lot of support that's alternative, just East Blue. So like Arlong, they might have some Arlong crew in this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little weird that the fact that it's more of
I
East Blue leader than it is a Krieg Pirates leader.
I kind of expected. Well, I mean, yes, the leader is Krieg, but if we learned anything from OP14, just because something has a typing doesn't mean the whole deck has to be based on that type. All of the leaders in 14 are 7 Warlord. None of them are based on 7 Warlord typing. So, like,
Yes.
Krieg isn't a Krieg leader in the sense that the whole deck is based around Don Krieg. Krieg is a leader based around East Blue. And, like, that's even how his effect works. So
Yep.
it makes sense that it's not just, like, the Krieg pirates, because there aren't even enough Krieg pirates to make a full deck. There'd have to be so many, like, repeat characters at different costs. One card that we are also getting that was like announced to us but is an EBO4 card. There's a 7 cost Zeph that's coming out. 6 cost Zeph. Oh, I don't know why it's not on here.
It's red, isn't it?
Yeah, it just got announced recently. Like at the same time the Zeph leader got announced. It's EBO4. Anyway, it does basically the same thing as that Zorro from EBO4,
Here he is.
but oh yeah, that one. Yep. If your leader's base power becomes 7k until the end of your opponent's next turn when attacking, and it's East Blue. This card is really, really strong.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how it's actually going to work out. I mean, it doesn't have any counter, it doesn't have rush, but it's going to be real good in Sanji.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal in Sanji. So is the Zorro. Well, no, the Zorro is on play, so it's not going to be good in Sanji. But the Zeph is going to be incredible in Sanji, and it's just going to be like you have to play it in Don Krieg. Like, whether you want to or not, like, oh, it doesn't have counter, you're not going to have enough cards if you don't run it. Because a ton of stuff is rotating out. I like that Law card a lot. I think it's going to be very playable. I think it's kind of crazy that it's a 3/5 2k counter. We don't get a lot of those.
Yeah, except for the Fishman.
Yeah, who's also restricted on like when he can attack. So like this Law also can't attack unless your opponent has multiple 5k base power characters. But it's a playable 2k, and sometimes in Red Law you just need a 3/5.
But we also got support for Smoker. Let's go.
Yeah, this card's also really good.
Yeah.
This card's also really good.
It's basically
It's
this card, except for only navies.
it's only on your opponent's turn.
True.
But you could also run that in Kobe, and it would not be bad.
Yeah, because I mean, wait.
I guess it's a little bit worse because it's not sword.
Yeah.
But you do run Navy searchers in Kobe, is why I mentioned it. But it's a little bit worse for sure. And I think there's already a card that boosts your power in Kobe. I think that Jewelry Bonnie 1 cost is good, but it should have been a 1 cost Kuma that searched out anything rather than Straw Hats and Jewelry Bonnie. Or sorry, Egghead or Straw Hat. Like I think we should have gotten a yellow 1 cost Kuma that said if your leader is Egghead, add a 2 cost or higher card to your hand.
So basically, the
Yes,
GARP.
the GARP. Yes, the GARP, but for Egghead leaders.
You could have done. You could have just done only for Bonnie if you really wanted to. But
Yeah, I didn't really want to. I want
yeah.
starter deck Luffy to be able to search out Kuma.
But
I know what I said.
Yeah, but that means she would have to be yellow.
Yes, I said a yellow 1 cost Kuma that was locked to Egghead. That was my specification. That's what I was hoping we were going to get. We did not get it. It's also like crazy that you can't search out Bonnie off of Bonnie, so you can't even search out the 9 cost Bonnie for the red yellow Bonnie deck.
Yeah, I wish they would go to the more modern templating where it would just be like the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Egghead or Straw Hat type with the cost of 2 or more, and then put it in your hand. I think that's like the more modern version. I wish I would have went with that approach.
I think they specifically wanted you not grabbing Jewelry Bonnie with it. That's
9
why
drop.
that's why the restriction. Like they took that into consideration. They weren't like, oh, you just can't search yourself off of the, because the 1 cost Sky Island Nami in OP15 can grab other Namis. It's
Yep.
just locked to Sky Island. So like this could have been able to grab itself, and it wouldn't have been any different than the power creep that Nami has, except that Nami's also a 2K counter.
Yeah, and it gets a 1K counter for looking at one less card, which seems a little weird to
Exactly.
me. Like that seems not correct. Like should have been on 2 minus cards.
I think it has less power as well. I don't think it's a 1-2, is it? It might be a 1-1 or a 1-0.
I thought it was
It might
2000.
be a 1-2 still, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's 1-2. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Just at the cost of looking 1 less deep, it has 2K counter. I don't think that's a fair trade-off. I would agree.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they pushed that. But the podcast is going over a little over 2 hours, so we should
Yeah,
probably
I gotta get to my stream pretty
yeah, we
soon.
probably should call it a thing. So let's go ahead and getting into the shout outs. So go ahead and shout out your Twitch account and all that stuff.
Yeah, guys, just come and check me out. Favorite anime villain on Twitch, favorite anime villain on YouTube. I'm sure my YouTube will be like tagged in the caption or the description. I mean, thanks for having me on again, Kebbie. I appreciate it. Hopefully, Med is free next week.
Yep. Yeah. So like always, since they're going to be returning to co-host, going forward, their link to their Twitch will be in the description, and of course, once they accept the collaborations, we should list all of our names under the collabs subscribe button. Just subscribe to his YouTube channel directly. And for me, I'm actually changing up my my streaming schedule. So at the current juncture, I'm removing Pokemon from my rotation. So I'm actually going to up Magic because I keep getting requested for more Magic content than what I'm doing. So I'm going to actually be increasing my Magic streams to 2 and my One Piece streams to 2. So eventually that's going to switch the days in the future because I scheduled my first tournament on Limitless One Piece. So that's scheduled for March, the first Thursday in March. So based off of their two schedules, it works out so that both of them can play in it. So if you want to face either one of my other two co-hosts, you should consider joining that tournament. Maybe go face them. And yeah, that's all we have for you guys today. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. We need to get to 500 subs to 1,000. That would be really appreciated. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Like I said, next week probably going to be the power rankings, and the week after that we'll talk about EBO3 list. Even though I haven't really tried VV, so kind of curious to see maybe how the other two members have how their testing with VV has been. But until then, have a great rest of your week.